Introduction: the worm trap. Imagine an intelligent, successful person. Let's say he's a computer scientist. He's used to analyzing everything, checking facts, and believing only in logic. His world is built on algorithms and rationality. He's the last person you'd imagine in a cult. Now imagine this person ending up there. How? He wasn't kidnapped. He wasn't threatened. His will wasn't broken with drugs or torture. Everything was much simpler and more terrifying. He was caught in the feeling of home. Here he is, alone in a big city, going through a personal crisis, feeling misunderstood. And suddenly he finds himself in a group of incredibly warm, attentive people. They look him straight in the eye. They listen as if his words are the most important thing in the world. They say, "We've always been waiting for you. You're special. We feel the same as you do." He's not being broken. He's being embraced. And at that moment, the most ancient and powerful instinct is triggered: the need to belong, to be part of a tribe, to be understood, to be loved. It's a warm, soft trap that's so easy to fall into, because you don't even realize it's a trap. You think you've finally found your true home. This is the main deception of modern cults and sections. They rarely use brute force. Their weapons are sophisticated, invisible psychological techniques. They don't crush your personality with a sledgehammer. They gently and smoothly rebuild it from within, like an architect redesigning a building. And the worst thing is, they create the complete illusion of voluntary choice in the victim. You think you decided it all yourself, that this is your path. Today, we'll take a look behind the scenes of this process. We'll uncover the mechanism of consciousness transformation. We'll understand how intelligent, educated people voluntarily give up their time, money, and ultimately, their very selves. You'll learn how this love bombing works and what lies behind its warm facade. This knowledge isn't just an interesting fact. It's a vaccination. A vaccination against manipulation, which can lurk anywhere. Let's begin this journey into the darkest corners of the human psyche. Are you ready to find out what brainwashing really looks like? Friends, please subscribe, like, and comment. This is very important to us. And we continue. The facade of paradise, the love bombing technique. You enter their community, and the first thing that strikes you is an incredible, almost deafening warmth. You are surrounded by smiles. You are given gifts. They listen to you, looking into your eyes. They tell you exactly what you've been wanting to hear for years. This isn't just friendliness. It's a weapon, and it's called love bombing. This isn't random kindness. It's a purposeful, total, and most importantly, conditional operation of your acceptance. It can be broken down into 3 clear steps. Step 1, mirroring and idealization. Imagine you've been searching for your tribe for years, and now you found it. These people reflect your values, your fears, your deepest dreams with incredible precision. They speak in your own words. Do you feel the world is unfair? We feel it too. Are you searching for true meaning? And we're looking. Do you think your loved ones don't understand you? We do. We're just like you. You're not just accepted. You're idealized. They see hidden potential in you, a specialness that no one else has noticed. It's the most powerful drug for self-esteem. You're intoxicated by this feeling. Finally, they truly see you. Step 2, creating debt. This is followed by a flurry of selfless care. They cook for you when you're sick. They give you a book that accidentally caught your eye and perfectly answers your doubts. They help you move, find a job, or study. You drown in this attention. And here a deep psychological mechanism is triggered. You begin to feel indebted. How can you thank these wonderful people? Money? They don't take it. Services? They refuse. The only currency they gratefully accept is your loyalty, your time, your trust, and you happily begin to pay them. Step 3, conditionality. But this love has a terrible secret. It is conditional. It is given only as long as you are one of them. As long as you fully agree, approve, and follow. Try doubting. Express a slight disagreement. Ask an uncomfortable question, and you will see how the warm sea of love instantly recedes. They stop noticing you. Smiles become cold and forced. They stop talking to you. An icy wall appears. What do you feel? Panic, Fear of loss. You painfully want to return to that warm, safe state you had just the day before. And the easiest way to do this is to withdraw your doubt, apologize, become one of them again. This is the main mechanism. You are not forced. You are taught that love and acceptance can only be obtained through complete submission. You begin to control yourself. The philosophical conclusion: exploitation of loneliness. Love bombing isn't an honest relationship. It's a trap built on the exploitation of our fundamental existential need to be part of something bigger, to be acknowledged, to be loved. They play on our deepest loneliness. They offer an instant cure for longing and loss. But this cure is counterfeit. It doesn't heal. It lures us into dependence, where the fix is our own freedom. The facade of paradise is built. The door to the worm trap is slammed shut. And that's when the real work begins. Part 2. The walls of the trap. Informational and social isolation. You've accepted the rules of the game. You've learned to receive your share of love in exchange for loyalty. And here the mechanism begins to operate on a new level. Gentle attraction gives way to gentle repulsion, a repulsion of everything that remains beyond the walls of your new paradise. This is isolation, but its genius lies in the fact that it is presented as your own mature decision, a natural consequence. Remember that love bombardment? It itself contains a powerful isolating charge. You are constantly being gently hinted. Your old friends? They can't handle the depth of your thoughts. They're simply not mature enough. Your family? They're bound by outdated notions. They don't want your true happiness. Your colleagues? They're mired in materialism. They won't understand your spiritual quest. You are not being forcibly torn from the past. You are being helped to understand that the past was a mistake, that your old connections are dead weight, hindering your growth, and so you voluntarily begin to distance yourself. You feel enlightened while everyone else feels blind. Wall building methods. To ensure that this new world becomes unique and unshakable, the cult erects 3 strong walls. First, wall, creating us versus them. The entire external world is painted in a single color, hostile. It is called sinful, lost, systemic, unenlightened. Any criticism from outside is declared slander from enemies or a test of your faith. A clear division emerges. Within are we, the bright, chosen ones, striving for the truth. Outside are they the dark, confused, wishing us harm. This is a basic technique that defeats 2 purposes. It unites the group in the face of an imaginary threat and completely cuts off any desire to listen to outside voices. The second wall, information control. This wall is the strongest. You are gently and then harshly forbidden from reading hostile websites, watching secular news, or communicating with apostates. Those who have left the group, you are told, "Why do you need this dirt? It will only sow doubt in you. We will give you everything you need to know." And you are given a hermetic, closed picture of the world. All events are presented already digested through the prism of cult teachings. The world becomes simple and clear, black and white, good and evil. Your thinking stops processing complex nuances. It is content with ready-made templates. And the third wall, physical isolation. This is the climax. You're being persuaded to move to a commune, a camp, another city, or even another country. To be closer to your own kind, to fully immerse yourself in the teachings, to isolate yourself from the corrupting influence of the world. Physical separation is the final nail in the coffin of your freedom. Now you're cut off from your old life, not only mentally, but also physically. Your communication, daily life, and work. Everything is concentrated within the group. There's nowhere to escape, and the desire has almost vanished. Philosophical conclusion: the vacuum in which monologue is born. The human personality doesn't exist in a vacuum. It lives in dialogue, in arguments with friends, in communication with family, in encounters with different points of view in books and films. It is in this dialogue that we test our beliefs, grow, and change. Isolation is the interruption of this dialogue. You're left with only a monologue, a leader's monologue, a doctrine's monologue. In the vacuum created, the cult becomes the only source of truth. Every thought, Every feeling is now verified by this internal tuning fork. You can no longer verify information. You can only accept or reject it, risking losing your only source of love and meaning. The walls of the trap are erected. The outside world is distant and declared an enemy. Now, in this sterile chamber, you can begin the most important task, the refining of your I. Part 3. Refilling the self. Destruction of identity and creation of a new one. The walls are erected. The outside world is sealed off. Now, in this sterile chamber, the most difficult and terrifying work begins. Soul surgery. If isolation has cut you off in the past, then your own self will now become the object of remelting. This is the core of the entire process. The old personality is not broken. It is dissolved to form a new, comfortable mold. The tools of remelting. 3 powerful tools are used for this, striking at the most vulnerable points of the psyche. Tool 1, confession and guilt. You are invited to share your deepest secrets. At first, it seems like therapy. You talk about your fears, mistakes, and complexes. But gradually, it turns into a ritual. You are helped to see that your ordinary actions are actually sins. Were you angry with your parents? This is a dark energy that needs to be cleansed. Were you pursuing career? Is it a manifestation of pride? Were you reading the wrong books? It was poisoning your mind. Your past is rewritten as a history of delusions. Guilt becomes your constant companion. It destroys your self-esteem. You begin to believe that without the group, you are nothing, just a collection of mistakes. And here you are offered a saving solution. Only the cult's teachings, only complete submission can cleanse you of this guilt. You cling to it like a drowning man. Your submission becomes a cure for the pain you were inflicted upon yourself. Tool 2. Fatigue and altered states. Your body is the enemy of your freedom. All totalitarian systems know this. That's why they drain you of strength. Long multi-hour meetings, early rises and late nights, monotonous chanting, meditation, meaningless physical labor. Your brain, exhausted by lack of sleep and monotonous actions, switches off critical thinking. This is a biological fact. Fatigue is the key to suggestibility. You no longer analyze the leader's words. You absorb them. You become a blank slate on which new directives can be written. Tool 3. Cult language and you speak. A new language is being implanted in you. Its own special jargon. Words like enlightenment, energy, vibrations, and chosenness become the passwords of their own. This language is brilliant in its simplicity. It doesn't describe the complexity of the world. It substitutes for it. Any complex problem can be reduced to a simple formula. Your problem is in the low vibrations, or this is a test of your loyalty. Language ceases to be a means of thought. It becomes a substitute for it. You stop thinking. You operate with ready-made cliches. This marks us and cuts out them. But most importantly, it creates a convenient, simplified reality in your head, where everything has a ready-made explanation from the group. The philosophical conclusion, existential hijacking. All of this leads to one goal, the destruction of the autonomous I. Your past, your mistakes, your suffering, your thoughts, all of this is declared the property of the system. An existential hijacking occurs. Your life, your history, your identity are taken from you. And in return, you are given a new one, assembled on an assembly line. You are no longer I. You are part of we. Your feelings are unimportant. Your experience is invalid. Only what the doctrine says matters. You give up your right to be yourself in exchange for the illusion of belonging to something greater. The old identity is dissolved. Now you can begin assembling a new one. Part 4. Completing the cycle. The mind control system, Rober-Lifton's model. The refining process is complete. But how do all these techniques, love, isolation, guilt, fatigue, work together? Is there a unified framework, a map of this process? Yes. Psychologist Robert Lifton, studying the effects of ideological indoctrination, identified 8 criteria for mind control. This isn't just a list. These are stages in the creation of a new reality within the human mind. Let's go through them and discover how a system is built from individual manipulations. First, environmental control. This is a foundation. We discuss this in detail in the section on isolation. This refers to complete control over all information and communication. Physically, these are the walls of the commune. Mentally, this is the ban on hostile sources. The person finds themselves in a sealed aquarium, where the only source of air is the cult's teachings. Second, mystical manipulation. In this artificial environment, everything begins to be imbued with a deep meaning. A random event is not a coincidence, but a sign or a test from above. Spilled your coffee this morning? Dark forces are trying to hinder your spiritual path. Met an old friend? The teacher sent them to test your loyalty. The entire world turns into a mystical theater, where the cult is a director and the individual is an actor, searching for secret instructions in every trivial detail. Third, the demand for purity. The world is clearly divided into two camps. The pure, everything associated with the cult. The teachings, the leader, the followers, and the impure, the rest of the world. This binary tolerates no gray areas. It is impossible to be a little devoted. It is impossible to believe partially. You are either with us, pure, or against us, impure. This creates constant internal tension and forces a person to cut off any impure thoughts about the outside world. Fourth, the cult of confession. We've already seen how this works. The personality is destroyed through constant forced confessions. But there's an important nuance here. Confession isn't about purification. It's an instrument of power. Your sins, your weaknesses, your fears become known to the group. This means they can be used against you at any moment. You're always in position of a guilty party who must earn forgiveness. Fifth, sacred science. The cult's teachings aren't simply declared to be the truth. They're declared to be the absolute truth, which requires no proof and is beyond question. It can masquerade as science, using pseudo-scientific terminology, or call itself an ancient revelation. The point is that it's infallible. Any question, is interpreted not as a search for truth, but as a sin, a manifestation of pride. 6. Loaded language. The cult language we've been examining isn't just jargon. This is newspeak, which doesn't describe reality but replaces it. Complex, multifaceted concepts are reduced to simple, pathetic labels. Melancholy becomes a low vibration. Critical thinking is the work of the devil. Such language doesn't serve the purpose of communication. It serves to shut down thought. 7th, doctrine is above the individual. This is the key, culminating principle. Your personal experience, your feelings, your memories, they are worthless. If what you see or feel contradicts the doctrine, then you are mistaken. If you are in pain, but the teaching says you should be happy, then you are to blame for your pain. You learn not to trust yourself. You learn to believe only the leader's words. Your I finally capitulates. 8th, the division of existence. The end. Total separation. The one you were before the cult, old Ivan, is unworthy of life. He was sinful, blind, pathetic. Only the new Ivan, born in the teaching, has the right to exist. The past is declared a mistake. It must be hated and denied. This is psychological murder. The old personality is destroyed, and the person views their past as alien, unpleasant history. Here it is, the complete scheme. These are not 8 different techniques. These are 8 steps of a single ladder leading downward, from freedom to complete enslavement, from one's own I to a void filled by the cult. Conclusion, a shadow on the wall of our freedom. We've traveled this entire path from warm embraces to complete dissolution of will. We've dismantled the mechanism, piece by piece. And now it's time to ask the main question. Does this even apply to me? After reading this, you want to shut yourself off. Say, this won't happen to me. I'm smart. I think critically. I'm strong. This is the most dangerous misconception. Bottom line, cults aren't the only ones that become cults. Cults aren't an alien phenomenon. They don't arise out of nowhere. They're simply an extreme, exaggerated manifestation of the socio-psychological mechanisms that surround us every day. Look closer. A rigid corporate culture where loyalty is valued above competence, where your life is supposed to belong to the company, where disagreement with management is punished with isolation and coldness. A political party that divides a world into patriots and traitors, that demands unconditional faith in its leader and denounces any criticism as the machinations of the enemy. A radical online community that offers simple answers to complex questions, that finds someone to blame for all your troubles and gives you a sense of superiority over the unenlightened. The same pattern everywhere. Simplification of a complex world. Division into us and them. The promise of meaning and belonging in exchange for independence of thought. The main conclusion, voluntary slavery. Their strength doesn't lie in creating slaves and chains. Their genius lies in forcing people to voluntarily lay down the burden of freedom. And that burden is incredibly heavy. Taking responsibility for your life. Making decisions in a world of uncertainty. Accepting that there are no easy answers. Understanding that you are alone in your choices. The cult offers a deal. Give me your freedom, your responsibility, your solitude, and I will give you the illusion of meaning, clear rules, and eternal brotherhood. And many agree, because they're tired, because it hurts, because they want certainty. A final warning, the question inoculation. So what should we do? Memorize all the techniques and view every smiling person as a cult member? No, that's the path of paranoia. There is a simpler and more reliable way. Understanding these mechanisms isn't knowledge about cults. It's an inoculation. An inoculation against any kind of manipulation. An inoculation you give yourself. Its formula is simple. The right to ask questions and the courage to doubt. The most reliable shield isn't knowing all the answers. It's the habit of asking the right questions. Always. In any situation where blind faith and unquestioning agreement are required. Why can't I communicate with those who think differently? What's wrong with doubting and testing? Who benefits from me stopping thinking for myself? Why do love and acceptance depend on my complete agreement? Ask these questions of others. But most of all, ask them of yourself. If you are offered a paradise where you can't ask questions, know this. It is hell, skillfully disguised as salvation. Your mind is your last and most important territory of freedom. Don't give it up for any promises in the world. Doubt, think, be free. This is the only and most effective answer to any attempt at brainwashing.